2, 3, 4.
Crop mob is basically just a bunch of people who want to get together, who are interested in sustainable agriculture. And because sustainable agriculture takes a lot more work than using a bunch of chemicals, it takes a lot more manpower. So we're benefiting people who want to learn how to do this stuff, as well as these farmers who could always use an extra set of hands.
It's simplest terms, it's just a bunch of people that want to go help a farm. We organize them, bring them out, and just do whatever work a farmer needs done. It started in North Carolina. There was a New York Times piece on it, the original crop mob. Somebody posted it to the Georgia Organics Facebook page. I saw that and I reposted it as Georgia Organics, and people were like, well, this is a great idea. We need to have this in Georgia. Kimmy's contacted the original people and sure, go ahead, you can do whatever you want. Just, do it, and then she didn't know what to do from there. I was like, well, here's your website, here's Twitter, Facebook, there we go, let's organize this thing.
I think there's a need for crop mob both from the farmer side and from the mobber side. I know personally I didn't know a whole lot about practical sustainable agriculture and really wanted a place to learn and didn't have one. So when we started this, it was just fantastic to be able to have a place where you don't have to go and feel awkward because you don't know what you're doing, and everybody's learning together. So in terms of the mobbers, it's great because it gives people a place to learn that stuff, and it's a fantastic source of community. And then obviously for the farmers, they can always use extra help. There's always weeding that needs to be done. There's always greenhouses that need to be built.
All we're trying to do is grow the cleanest, healthiest food for a reasonable price. And so everything is just based on being beneficial. Like these guys coming to help me, they're doing it because they want to help somebody, and that's all pretty much we're trying to do with growing clean, healthy food. And that's kind of the way I feel like everything is my focus. It's just necessary because we come in with so little funding that for them to help is just that extra push to be able to make it successful. We have 2.5, 3 acres in production. These are the first 2 high tunnels we'll be putting up to help start off spring, grow a little through the winter. The way I farm is based kind of on the way my dad farms, sort of from the Amish, the plain people type perspective. Use very little plastic, mostly hay, a lot of manure. So it's just kind of the way he was raised, farming.
We're kind of the model of an old family farm. It's sort of a subsistence type farm. My father had an old fellow working for him one time, and he came in all excited one morning. And he said, he'd been a dairy farmer all his life, and he said, Blake, I've just discovered that I'm an organic farmer. Well, he, used his cow manure on his fields and on his gardens, and so he assumed that made him an organic farmer. So, it isn't anything revolutionary. It's something that people have discovered and think it's new, but it ain't. Tate brought up a point when you folks were coming out here. He said, I don't want this to be just free labor. I want them to learn something from it. That we've got the pigs, we're going to milk a cow, we're going to make some grits and make some cornmeal. Hopefully people will go away from here understanding a little bit better of what we're doing and why we're doing it.
I just think it's really important that you know where your food comes from, and that the politics behind food is the politics behind a lot of bigger things for people to think about.
It touches everything, doesn't it? Pollution.
Yeah, it touches everything, and if you can get your hands on it and touch some of it yourself, you can make a difference for yourself and the people around you, especially with what you eat and what goes into your body. So I think the more, especially in the city, like in Atlanta, the more people that think about it and get involved with it and the more aware they become, the easier things will get for us.
I think that the sustainable agriculture movement has really been picking up because people are starting to learn how broken the food system is. And I think when you learn that, you start feeling a little bit, I don't know if betrayed is the right word, but you suddenly want to know what your food is, what's going into it. And then as you begin to learn more about that, you know, you go to a farmer's market, you meet a farmer, you realize that it can provide you with sort of a groundedness that a lot of things can't anymore. So it starts with a matter of wanting clean food, and then it becomes an issue of suddenly feeling a sense of community and a sense of belonging and a sense of productivity that a lot of us don't feel when we're in cubicles from 9 to 5.
The main reason I do it is really to make the connections between the farmers and the people. That's what I do most of my time outside of Crop Mob. My day job is just make connections between people. I work in online marketing and social networking and stuff. So I see these people with this, farmers with this need, but I also see the people wanting to do it. They just don't know about each other. So just trying to connect them together in an organized fashion so we can get a lot of stuff done.
This has probably been the best thing that I've gotten involved in. It feels kind of like home. I feel productive. I go home, take a shower, sleep well, and feel like that was the best day I've spent of my month. So you can't really beat that in a time when you're doing a lot on the computer and doing a lot inside and all you want is some good food and clean fun. Can't really beat this.
Somebody said that you cannot become self-sufficient, that you can be self-reliant, and that's what we've tried to become.